"Don't judge a book by its cover" is a proverb whose simple existence proved the fact impressionable souls will disappear without fail. This monthly column focuses on the film industry's willingness to capitalize on this truth, releasing one-sheets to serve as not representations of what audiences are to expect, but as propaganda to fill seats. Oftentimes they fail miserably. Despite only having 4 Fridays, April is packed with new releases. It seems like all the studios are trying to get some traction for the smaller films before the summer months arrive and take over, even though Disney is continuing its early tracks for blockbusters with Avengers: Infinity War bowing April 27th. There are a few posters I couldn't fit into any sections below, including the fun self-owned quote-centric sheet for Goddard Mon Amour, limited April 20th, the attractively illustrative collage for Low Life, limited April 6th, and the breathtaking artwork used to advertise the Chinese animation Big Fish. These are stunning works in their own right and shouldn't be forgotten amongst the rest. Quick turnaround: the film is named Spinning Man, limited April 6th. The designers think, how do we show spinning in two-dimensional print media? The answer is duplication. Use blurring, multiple vantage points, and cropping to make it appear as though your subject is moving despite it obviously not being able to do so. But this works when you have one subject. It works if you have some view of it from the backside as well, since spinning means 360 degrees. Custom Creative decided a weird shimmer would be enough. There's so much wrong with this thing. Why couldn't they have used an image of Minnie Driver facing the same direction as her co-stars? Why are the actors cropped with straight lines and masked to the contours simultaneously as though they're being folded in front of backdrops of themselves? This is less spinning than disappearing. And why are only 2 of the 4 ends in the title moving? What's worse is that the poster is pretty much exactly what Blood. But that one worked because the effect looked like shutters. It was about trust and facades and the fact that we could peer behind those surfaces to see the person's true intent. Spinning Man's design is the low-budget, cardboard cutout, sweded version without any recognition as to what the other was doing. Bond created a nice graphic teaser for Chappaquiddick, April 6th. There was satire, American flag symbolism juxtaposed with murder and minimalism, not one floating head to be seen. The title is synonymous with Ted Kennedy's infamous evening, and so one look at that overturned car drowning in water is all we need to know what's up. Short, sweet, and effective. So why did they go to the John Curran well when creating the final sheet? The similarity to Curran's previous film Stone, designed by The Refinery, is too close for coincidence. It's as though the firm thought putting the title beneath the actors instead of around the actors would be enough to render it unique. They were wrong. Not only that, though, it's utterly boring. Those overlapping Photoshop faces are way too distracting to let the scene of the car below possess any drama. The image seen through the letters of the text makes it seem less like added texture than empty ink cartridge losing paper coverage. And the lineup of tilted glasses lend a comedic bent that even the film's surprisingly comedic bent can't quite survive. Borg vs. McEnroe, April 13th, and the poster houses Submergence, limited April 13th, see their studios deciding to go cliché with the always unchallenging two-hander back-to-back ad. Have 2 leads that earn equal billing. Put both faces on the poster, but have them looking away from each other because, drama, no one can complain except those forced to gaze upon the uninspiring portraiture. Let's be honest, the former is laughable. The ways for Rhea Goodness and Shia LaBeouf position makes them look like the stars of a stuck-on-you sequel. Either that or McEnroe is literally a monkey on Borg's back. Or maybe this monstrosity is trying out for the role of Zaphod Beeblebrox in a new Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy film. I don't love the second poster for the film either, but at least it creates a scene with its actors. It shows the way they display their anger, stoic frustration against animated verbal abuse, with an interesting composition. It also adds the versus that wasn't there at the beginning nor wanted now. As for Submergence, I don't necessarily hate what Poster House did with the layout. It very directly bisects the page with the title to create 2 distinct windows so the former film's 2-headed monster issue is avoided. And it has them looking in opposite diagonal directions. This creates a sense of movement that them looking right and left wouldn't. We can read the title down while also witnessing the respective emotional woes. It's much better than the badly faked torn-page diptych and the robot eyes floating translucent heads in the sky. The latter removes Alicia Vikander's emotion for an empty, vacant expression as though she is an angel rather than person. What a weird aesthetic choice in extreme contrast to the others. Depth of field. Shallow focus doesn't have to be handled artistically to be effective. Just look at Crystal, Limited, April 13th. This could have been Rosario Dawson in the middle of the frame, but then we wouldn't get the context that leaving Nick Robinson at left delivers. Rather than portrait, this is conversation. We don't need to know who he is, only that he is one of the oys alluded to in the tagline. Is this poster winning any awards? No. But it isn't ignoring its own conventions either. It has a plan and it succeeds. Aardvark, Limited, April 13th takes this idea further. It pretends to be more artistic even though it is just as straightforward as the last one. In fact, it may be even more boring because it is less about a scene and action than providing a sense of hierarchy in relationship. Without knowing anything about this film, I can sense that Jenny Slate is the object, John Hamm is her supposed protector, and Zachary Quinto is the predator, stalker always in the background. What's interesting is that the latter is in focus. She may be his object, but he is ours. This is his story. Again, though, just because we can read the poster doesn't mean it is attractive or unique. It too had a plan and enforced it with success. Its one flourish is the typography, a nice sharp serif italicized for movement yet contained within a box. You could say it is a metaphor for why the Quinto are Slate's character. It's a person trying to escape the world that has refused to give him her true freedom. Disobedience Limited, April 27th by InSync Plus isn't as overt as these other two and therefore is much more artistic. The whole is soft to the point of its sole crisp imagery being the wisps of hair washed out to white between Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams. The softness is a nod to the grainy texture of film as opposed to digital, the warmth of the colors more about mood than reality. And the way the vantage augments the contrast between light and shadows ensures our eyes move to Weitz's open mouth. The image is provocative and effective, a real-world application of a similar layout with Love from a few years back. Sadly, the text does it no favors. Why is the tagline where it is? Why have it distract from the sightline of their eyes by refusing to let us see the loving gaze unfettered? Why is the cast list perfectly aligned with the left edge of the tag to create an invisible line between them that more or less tries to erase a kiss altogether by skipping over it? This is a perfect example of how great photography can be ruined by bad design. And by combining the strengths of these three posters, Indica Entertainment Advertising achieves the best of the bunch with Where is Kyra, Limited, April 6th. That's not to say it doesn't have its own problems. Giant title, giant actor names, distracting quotes boxing in Michelle Pfeiffer's face, only that it utilizes its focus to direct our eyes while also embracing composition to create memorable artistry. The whole might have worked without Kiefer Sutherland's face, perhaps just a shadow instead. Like with Crystal, though, it allows for conversation. He gives us a reason for her expression. He makes us pause and wonder about the sadness in her eyes, whereas only malice might have existed without him there. It's this mix of feelings that capitalizes on the title's question. It's her performance that draws us in to discover its answer. Remove the quotes, shrink the text below, and watch how she steals every bit of attention you have with only half a face in view. If this is any indication of the film itself, the universal praise Pfeiffer has earned thus far might actually be selling her short. Continue greater than 1-2. See more Aardvark, Avengers, Infinity War, Big Fish. McEnroe, Brandon Schaefer, Chappaquiddick, Disobedience, Empire Design, Goddard Mon Amour, Grace Jones, Bloodlight and Balmy, Gravelis Inc., Indica Entertainment Advertising, InSync Plus, Crystal, Custom Creative, Low Life, Piet Posterized, Propaganda, Silenzio Communication, Spinning Man, Submergence, The Devil and Father Amorth, The Endless, The Poster House, Where is Kyra, You Were Never Really Here, Zama.